King Cobra.
Welcome to the second episode of the Urban Retrospect. My name is Scott Jones, and I'm going to be your host for this evening, coming at you from Nashville, or I can say Music City, Tennessee. I know last week we started off as the cruise review, but we decided to do an audible, which is something you won't hear much of this football season because there is none. But we are going to call this now the Urban Retrospect. So this evening, we're going to kick it off, with Kendrick Cloud. I met Kendrick, didn't realize this. We were sitting at a party together. And I guess there was a little tussle that went on, and didn't realize that you were involved in that tussle until maybe about 2 months ago when we were planning for this. But hey, I'm glad to have you on here. So, please tell us a little bit about yourself, Keith.
Hey, man, I'm Kendrick Cloud from Cleveland, Ohio, born and raised, and unfortunately have returned. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here to have fun and give y'all some honest answers.
All right. Well, thank you, Kendrick.
Hi.
All right. I'm going to take it on down to Wes. I see Wes is ready to give us a word or two. Wes is the kicking it guy. I met Wes over at TSU's homecoming down at the Gibson guitar. He was wild, crunk. I was like, who is this dude? And they said it was Ramsey's friend. So because it was Ramsey's friend, of course, it's my friend. So what's going on, Wes?
What's up, man? Wesley Newell from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Been in Nashville since '96. Went to school at the greatest HBCU and never left the city. So I'm here. Let's have some fun. Let's kick it. Let's bring the beer.
All righty. Okay, and I just mentioned Ramsey James. Now, Ramsey, of course, is who I've known the longest on here. I think our first time hanging out was down in Charlotte, North Carolina at Clay. Ramsey, of course, is a member of the best fraternity in the world, and that is the Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. So, Brother Ramsey, tell me that right there. Right.
Yo. How you doing? This is Ramsey James, representing from the state of Florida. I live in Nashville, Tennessee, but happy to be here and ready to promote the products of our community.
All right. Good deal. Thank you, Ramsey. And then we have Greg, Big G. Big G also met through a mutual friend of ours, and of course, Big G is as well a member of the best fraternity in the world, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. And a memory that I have of Big G was when we were down in Miami kicking it for a fellas trip, and there was somebody who needed some saving out there on the beach. So Big G put on his medical hat and went and saved the day, and then came back to kick it with the rest of the fellas for a cocktail. So welcome to the Grove.
Thank you for the introduction. It's very nice. Greg Jones. I'm originally from Indianapolis, Indiana, Navtown, if you don't know. I live here in Cincinnati, Ohio now. I looked up when TSU was established. It was established in 1912. I went to Kentucky State University. We were 1886. So, I can't see how y'all the best. But
the oldest doesn't mean the best. Like, what are you talking about? Like, for instance, y'all are Kappas. Y'all know y'all ain't as good as Qs. You see how the correlation goes?
And none of y'all is good as Sigmas. So, hey.
I digress.
All right. I can't wait to share the products that we evaluated and just give our opinion. And I look forward to talking to everybody.
Amen.
All right. And then last but not least, we have Simple P. Perrin, just met you just a couple weeks ago. We probably met in passing, but good dude. Glad to have met you, have you on the show. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Hey, this is Perry. Everybody call me Simple. It's just P. That's why I said Simply P. By the way, I come from Brownsville, Tennessee. I live in Panama City, Florida. I'm not in any fraternity, so that makes me the realest one of the whole crew. The realest.
That's my
The
dog.
realest.
That's my
The
dog.
realest. But I did go to the line.
The realest at eating snacks.
Good. Snacks.
I went to the line of school in the nation, TSU, baby.
Yes,
how we roll.
indeed. Well, again, I'm glad to have you all on here, and I'm honored to be joined with you all this evening. And, you know, the reason why we're here is that we wanted to come together to see exactly what it is that we can do, you know, to make a difference in what we have going on, not only with the racism, the COVID that's going on, but we really wanted to make a concerted effort to patronize Black businesses, of course, review these Black businesses, and then at the same time, hopefully you all will go out and do the same. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna break it up. We're gonna give the review of the item. We're gonna look at the packaging, the cost, as well as how the item, you know, worked or felt or what have you. And then at the end, we're going to close it out and give it a yay or a nay with a simple fist up or fist down. Okay? So what we decided to go with this week was Champs Boxers. How we hear about Champs Boxers? Please tell me a little bit about Champs Boxers.
Well, I was scouring the internet because I got tired of everybody referring beauty products and everything. I said, man, let me find some regular everyday stuff. I just put in black boxers and it popped up on Google.
Okay.
Wow. Jackie Robinson didn't show up.
Jackie Robinson of boxers right here, though.
Right. I'm pretty sure Jackie Robinson played baseball.
That's what I was thinking myself, but I wasn't gonna say that. You know, I'm like,
Don't do TSU like that.
he said he went to TSU.
At least come up with a black
Jackie
boxer.
Robinson, man.
No, it's not, man. Come on, bro. All right, man.
Yeah, man.
So well, tell us what you think about the boxer since you introduced it to us, Wes. Give us your thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah.
We done had our discussions of these boxes before. But when I got these boxes, these are the best boxers I done had in my life. No BS. I am no longer gonna buy Hanes or Fruit of the Loom. I'm gonna buy Champs boxes.
Nice.
This is why I like it. Now, first I was hesitant because, you know, like what these Negroes know about some black boxers. I'm being serious. I'm just like, well, you know, support. So I put it on, and you know what? I was just like, whoa. You know how you just put on, I never put on some boxers. It had like a, whoa.
Oh.
Like it fit right. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I'm not lying. I'm not lying because when I put them on, I'm just like, first of all, they tight in the right places and loose in the right places. And, you know, they're breathable. It's just like, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, I'm walking around commando with boxers on.
Okay.
Come on, man.
TMI. All right.
Right. You
pretty much told us about the overall satisfaction. What about the cost? Now, what you think about
the cost? The cost was decent. Now, the cost is $20 for 3, which is cool. And they have different colors and everything. The only thing I did not like about the boxers, Champs, was that they do not have a lot of the sizes available. So the inventory, ain't gonna lie, it's not that great. Like they only have like 4 or 5 styles of boxers, and you kind of like gotta fish and find your size of which ones to order.
Okay.
But as far as the delivery, the price, was priced. I think there were like $20 for a pair. The ones I bought. Then they have like some limited edition ones that are $40, and then others that have one that's $100, like some Kuta Kente mud flap. They call them mud. I don't know what it is, but I ain't gonna pay no $100 for no draws. You know what I'm saying? But the overall feel, the overall texture was great. They do sell other items as well. These were so great, man, and then you can catch them. They have sales too. So once you order from them, they hit you up. One thing I liked about the service, they hit you up with the coupon, and I went back and bought the limited edition, which was $40, and I bought those. So I like that. And they send up the good, nice follow-up email when I bought it. It's just like, say, hey, you're special for buying from us twice. Right. I mean, when I bought this product, I was like, it's just draws, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, what can you expect? But when I actually do it, I actually really like them. And they comfortable, all the way comfortable from top to bottom. You know what I'm saying? This is A+ for me.
How much was the coupon they sent you?
It was 2 for 1. So basically, I got 2 of the limited ones for $40, and they come in a pack of 3.
Okay. What about vintage 1975 down there? You may be accustomed to wearing some Hanes tighty whities or something. What do you think about the Champs box?
Cut off that light. Your dad used to walk through the
first thing you need to do is unmute your line.
Yeah, cut off that light. Don't touch that thermostat. He's old. He proved he's the old dad because he don't know how to use the mute button.
That's all right.
There we go.
That's okay.
So funny thing is, I think I received my pair of underwear first.
Yes.
And I think I remember bragging about them first. And like, wow. As y'all know, I am a nurse, and we wear scrubs. And the scrubs, wearing these underwear underneath your scrubs, they're so nice. They don't ride up. Like Wes say, they grip you in the right places, and they let you breathe in other places. I don't know if I got in on the sale. I purchased 3, but I ended up getting 6. So I don't know what that was about. But I thought the packaging was nice and professional. They even sent you a little sticker. I put the sticker up in one of my closets. Say, hey, I rock Champs, so I can promote this. I thought the prices were pretty decent, and I would definitely buy them again. I'm interested in getting the different kinds, like Wes was talking about. They had some different prints and things. I'm gonna try them out too. All of the ones I got were black and gold, but man, they in heavy rotation right now. So I really enjoyed the product. Also, I thought the guy here in a timely manner. I didn't feel like the shipping was too bad, and I look forward to purchasing more also.
Okay.
There you go.
Good deal. All right, Kendrick, what do you think? What do you think about the Champs box?
So, well, first let me start with the price and shipping. At first, I'm not even gonna lie, I thought it was a little bit high for a 3-pack of draws. But when I got here, like everybody else, I was very impressed. Similar to Greg, man, it was a bonus was that it was a BOGO. So you know what I'm saying. I paid for 3, got 6-pack. Got 6 pair. Oh, wow. You know what I'm saying. So that made that made it a lot better. And the shipping time was standard given these COVID times. They, they weren't delaying it and everything. The presentation, very professional, as everyone else has said. I like the black box that it came in. Like, I felt like I was putting on some drawers that were meant for a king. You know what I'm saying? When I was Like,
Here you go.
you know, I was like, man, like, you know, shaka. You know what I'm saying? And it was just a much better presentation than, you know, your standard draws that you get. One thing I want to point out, because I didn't hear anybody mention it yet, at least I got all black ones with the gold trim. I think why they're called champs is because it's set up like a boxing belt.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The
Yes,
ring.
yeah,
You know,
yes.
did y'all notice that? Like, I thought that was dope. You know what I'm saying? And then just in general, best pair of draws that I've ever had. Very comfortable. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, man. I felt sexy when I put them on. I was looking at my wife like,
And
baby,
my gal like them too, bro.
I'm coming. So, you know.
My gal like them too.
All right. All right. Simply P, what you think? What you think about those draws?
Well, I didn't get the order in it because I wear 44 waist and they didn't have my size, so I didn't get.
So they didn't have
order.
equator size?
Hey, P, they didn't have the black and gold ones? Because, I mean,
Yeah.
actually, one thing I didn't say is I went back and ordered some more, like last week.
The 44 waist.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, man.
Reggie James, what you think? What you think about them?
Oh, well, I'm gonna say on the shipping, it arrived on time. I'm kind of salty. I didn't get the BOGO, so I only received 3 pair underwear, draws. But I have to say they're not my go-to draws. So in contrast, for me, they're not the best draws I put on my body. But and everybody got their go-to draws, right? The draws that you put on when you know you about to get some, or you don't get some.
Yeah.
I ain't putting them on. So I just can't agree with you fellas on that part. You know, I still wear my go-to draws, but unfortunately, champs failed in that area. And I tell you, you know, I think it was okay. I felt like the material could have been a little softer. You know what I'm saying? I like my boys to be cupped in a soft cocoon. I just felt like I know I'm on TMI, but I didn't feel like the material was as soft as I would like it.
Are you rocking satin boxer briefs?
No.
We got some Versace silk draws and stuff.
Man.
So let me tell you something. I got these draws on right now, and I'm feeling comfortable and breathable.
If you think about it, it's probably a cotton spandex mix, right? And so the ratio to me didn't do as well as some other draws I have. Like I said,
which ones you would say? Which brand you would say was better, Ramsey?
There are some draws out there that when you put them on, it damn near feel like silk. And the champs to me didn't feel that way.
That's a Kappa thing.
Man, he really is wearing silk draws.
It's a testicle thing.
I love y'all, dog. I love it.
Hold up. All right.
Well, me personally, you know, and I felt this at the beginning. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. And before I go any further, I need to just make a quick disclaimer. Please arrest the cops that killed Breonna Taylor. Okay?
Amen.
There we go.
All right, now, before I keep on going, I'm saying from Louisville, Kentucky, so when I heard champs, I was thinking about the champ.
Oh, your boy, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm the king of the world. Yeah, so I ordered it, and $20. And you know, we talk about 20, but we also think about how much we are accustomed to paying. And what we're doing is we need to change our mindsets. Because if you think about it, 3 pair of draws for $20, we will blow $20 on one drink in Vegas just like that. And these draws are going to last. Okay?
Okay.
Oh, actually, you don't have to go to Vegas to spend $20. You know, you and your and other.
You can go to downtown Nashville.
Exactly.
Just for parking, will pay you cost you $20.
Exactly. So, I can't really complain about the cost on that. And I'm a Fruit Loom. I've done Haynes. Fruit Loom is actually just right up the street, based in Bowling Green, Kentucky. But these are some good draws. These are some good draws, and you do have different options. I think the ones that I selected, of course, were more of the lower cost. But if you want to get into the African Bumbata, you may pay $99.99, but those are some nice ones too. So no complaints. Costs, they felt great. So I like them. I'll probably scoop up another pair. So
there you go.
Okay.
But
Ramsey, you wearing the $99 draws?
Nah. And I'm still salty. Y'all got the BOGO.
That's why he don't like it. No, Ramsey James, how he like money. That's why he's soft. That's why he gave a bad review.
You're right. Everybody got the deal. Greg, somehow that just showed up with 6.
If Ramsey would got the other 3, he'd be just like, these balls are
for the 20, and that was it.
I will not see.
But it's all good.
What's 20 divided by 3? That's what?
I'll stick with my sexy man draws.
Champs Boxers. And I'd have to say super comfortable. Super comfortable. The boxer briefs really fit me right, but they held on and didn't ride up in the wrong places. Warmer played ball in them. They were super good. Changes. The ribbon at the top, you have to manipulate a little bit. Some of us full-figured brothers have the micro Dunlap disease. It can be a little uncomfortable, but all in all, it was a pretty good experience. Would I buy them again? I think I would, but I think I'd have to see if they had something a little bit more with that ribbon. That ribbon kind of bothers. I don't think that right around the waistline, because it's got a thicker rib waist, kind of like a boxer would wear, and it just kind of, I don't know, it just made me feel some kind of way. I can't even put it into words, but that would be the only drawback I would have on those. It's just that ribbon didn't sit well with me. But yeah, I'm gonna give it probably 7.5 out of 8. Full-figure guys might experience some issues, but as far as the material itself and the breathability, the comfort, it was pretty good.
Please follow the Urban Retrospect. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook.
The gram.
And you can also subscribe to us on YouTube. And at the same time, before we even give you our review of Champs, we also want you to make sure you support them. Definitely make sure you support. We don't do this just because it feels good to us. We want to do this because we want you all to support them. So before we go to quick takes, what's everybody think? Is Champs a go again?
2 fists up. I already bought my second pack.
Yeah, I already bought 2 packs too.
Hey.
Ramsey got a silkworm in his house. And he's custom-made silk drawers.
Mine's coming soon. I'm gonna order me a pair though. I'm gonna listen to y'all. I'm gonna order a pair when I get my side.
Okay. Well, now we're gonna go down to quick takes.
Yeah.
I guess we're gonna start off with, what album do you think has changed your life? Okay, album has changed your life. Go ahead, Big G. What you think?
Wow, I would be first. I'm gonna go with my favorite. I'm an Outkast fan. I think Aquemini was one of my favorite albums. So that's my choice.
Okay. What about you, Simply P?
Man, what changed my life? Man, I hate to say it, West Ken already know, West know. Coming out hard. Everybody MJG, the greatest album of all time. There's only
Man,
10
that was hard,
tracks.
though.
Hey, there's only 10 tracks on this album. But golly, there's 10 hardest tracks you ever gonna hear in your life, bro.
The one with Lay It Down?
Nah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
no,
Nah, that's the one not laid down.
that's one with Mr. Big.
9mm, man.
9mm.
Coming
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
Coming out
hard,
hard.
hard.
Yeah.
That's one of the best albums ever, man. And but that's one of my favorite albums of all time, man. Man, even when after it was released, it was still one of the most expensive tapes in Camelot. And it only had 10 tracks. Yeah, it only had 10 tracks, and it was the 10 hardest track I've heard in my life. 1992, 91, 92.
Okay.
Okay. What about you, Ken?
Jay-Z.
So this was hard, man. Like we was thinking
Yeah,
about
it's hard.
this. I was thinking about this, and so like I don't think I have any one album that is my favorite. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? I'm sure you brothers are gonna name some that Big G already named Outkast. But in terms of change my life, just hear me out once I tell you. It was East 1999.
Yeah, home.
Yeah.
He froze up when it
It
happened,
was.
too. He said,
Go ahead, you gotta tell him again. You gotta tell him
That's the
again.
second album,
Okay.
right, Ken?
this is the second
It
album.
would get. It's the second. Actually, it's the third. But
Third, yeah.
Put you on
East
game right there.
1999
Yeah,
and
right,
10.
right. That's what he tried to do.
You know what I'm saying? But like, no, like, listen, that went out because I was going to TSU for introduction to engineering programs, right?
Mm.
Dog, from between that summer and like my first few years at Tennessee State, everybody used to be like, "Hey man, you know Bone?" I was like, "What?" No, you know
Yeah, 'cause you
Bone.
the only dude from Cleveland.
Right,
It
right.
wasn't
right.
We was up on
no.
the other day.
Listen, everybody at Tennessee State that was from Cleveland got asked the same question. Wes, my wife went to Fisk. She got asked the same question. Like, so you know what I'm saying? I've never, and you still get asked the question to this day when I have people come into town that have never been here.
Hey, take me to the St. Clair to that street.
They will take us to 99th and St. Clair. I'm like, for what? Like, it's really nothing there. So
Yeah.
that would be my album.
Have you ever
Okay.
seen Tasha? Is Tasha from Cleveland too?
Man, I can't tell you nothing about Tasha.
Tasha.
You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you.
I was one of I ain't gonna lie. I went back and listened to that album, like the first album. Come on. And when I heard that song, her sing, I was like, man, this is some straight out the hood type stuff.
Yeah.
She probably
listen,
crack addict or something.
That album is that second album,
Right. Where's
Creeping
Tasha?
on the Come Up. Creeping on the Come Up is hard.
I like Creeping on the Come Up. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you,
Yeah, I like
James? What's your change your lifer album?
No, for me, it's actually a greatest hits because I don't know all the albums, but it's Donny Hathaway greatest hits. My father introduced me to Donny Hathaway.
Yeah.
And when I came to Tennessee State, I actually put a lot of dudes on to Donny Hathaway and his music. And when I say change your life, because his lyrics, the soul that's in his music, it's just before his time. And his life was very short. But when you listen to Donny Hathaway's songs, A Song for You, you can hear the soul in the music. And I think that's what's important. When things that change your life got to affect your soul. And when somebody puts their soul in the music and you feel it in your soul, that's what's going to move you. That's what's going to stay with you. So there's only a few artists, to me, that are able to do that. And Donny was definitely one of those artists. And that greatest hits I played in Watson Hall, Tennessee State University in 1997. Blasting that, and dudes was coming like, man, who was that? And yeah, Donny Hathaway.
You gonna make me download the album now? I'm looking there. Like, let me see if I can.
Hey, dog. Hey, he over here going. They trying to see my Gab play some Johnny Hathaway.
Yeah,
it'll change your life.
Well, I guess I am last. Greg mentioned it, and you know it's an album, but it's really even more so the song, and that's that Elevators, and it's that last one.
Right. All right.
Got stopped in the mall the other day. Heard a call from another way. I just came to the phone talking about, hey man, you remember me from school? No, not really, but he kept
Not really.
Really, but he kept asking me, what kind of car you drive? Hey, I know you got cool folks from all the songs that y'all have made. And I replied that I've been going through the same thing that he had. I got more fans than average man, but not of loot to last me to the end of the week.
To the end of the week, I live by the beat.
If you don't move, I don't eat, so we like neck and neck.
We like neck to neck.
Like them slim from Virginia. Virginia. Me and you.
That's one of the hardest verses in rap history.
Yeah,
it's one of the hardest
verses. I think 3000 got some more harder verses. Tell you the truth.
Yeah. Oh,
hey, Scott, skip me.
You forgot West.
Oh, my bad. I gotta say the best for last. My bad. Oh, West.
Nah, I got like 3 albums that kind of like.
You see one. You see 6 was count. They don't understand.
Nah, man, I have to.
No, you don't. Only thing you have to do is
one album, man.
Stay black down.
This question. He was greatest hit, man.
Right. I got some other ones. I could name Prince. I mean, I got a bunch. You get one.
All right. It was probably Nas Illmatic.
Okay. I remember that came out.
Do nothing.
And, you know, and the reason why. Why y'all laughing? What you think, BT?
Because I just never expected somebody from Tuscaloosa to say Nas Illmatic.
And this is why it kind of Nas Illmatic kind of changed my whole outlook on music. Because you gotta understand where I'm from, man. Like what parents was listening to, it was just like strictly like down south gangster music. It like people from my area, we didn't listen to East Coast, New York type music.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? And then when I heard Nas is just like, I mean, the album from front to back and how he was just so lyrical and so like storytelling, the depth, it had really turned me into a hip hop head. And so like where I was like probably the only dude from where I was from that was listening to East Coast music. And like it changed my whole outlook on rap and just in general. You know, I really got hurt, man, because he was coming to Nashville and was going to do a symphony concert in the amphitheater.
I had to
we supposed to go, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, dude right there, man, you know, like he one of my dudes that, you know what I'm saying, he kind of changed my whole outlook on music. And man, I'll be just like Pete, listen to Play a Fly and everything. Like the greatest rapper alive with the Memphis Cats, but Nas kind of changed my whole outlook on music, man.
Hey, were you at ECI when it came out?
Nah, 96? Man, I was in high school.
Okay.
You were in high school when that Illmatic was out?
Mm-hmm.
What year was Illmatic?
Like 95. He came in like 94, 95.
Oh, I thought 95. It ain't 96. Reasonable Doubt is 96.
No, it came out in 94. Illmatic.
Yeah.
That's when I
95. Yeah.
94.
Yeah. And most people get shot. It's like I like lyrics, man. I like real rappers. Now my other album was AT Aliens because
you just was gonna sneak it in.
Right.
AT Aliens. I know everybody says Equimini. I like AT Aliens better than I like Equimini because that's when Andre 3000 became a beast.
The one that
that wheels of steel.
Yeah. You think about it. That AT Aliens album. He was just like, dude, because back when they came out, they were just Southern rappers. That AT Aliens came out, Andre 3000 came out, just like, look at me, we here. The South is here and the South can rap.
Then you were slipping
I
because
know it sound absurd.
you were slipping because on Southern Playlist of Cadillac Music, he established himself.
Yes, he did.
I get you, but man, when I heard Ain't the Aliens,
my body, where's the party? Come on, man.
I get that, but at the same time, though, Ken, let's get into this Andre 3000 debate.
Yeah.
And on AT Aliens, man, I'm just like, dude, like back in the days, you gotta understand East Coast rappers they were labeled some of the best lyricists. And the AT Aliens album, Andre 3000 was right there with him.
I think
and what I'm saying
on the first album.
Thank you very much. He was there. Excuse me. Hey, go back and listen to Get Up, Get Out.
Thank
you. If you telling me that they did not destroy that song, so like, come on, no, you tripping.
How many features have he killed people on their own album?
Elevators.
Yeah, that
they won't put them on.
Cadillac for your.
I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. Even though I'm a big Andre 3000 fan, he should have never messed with Badu. Because Badu, he went down here after messing with Badu.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. I don't know what's up with Badu. That person messed with Badu. I tell you this.
I've been waiting for an Outkast album for 20 years.
She's a Kim Kardashian. Once they mess with Badu, they get slaughtered.
Man, dude, no, he changed a little bit, but his music never dropped off.
Kill Bill.
Yeah,
never dropped off.
Yep.
Andre 3000 won them the Grammy. If you listen to that the album they won Best Album of the Year, that Love Below alone
it
is
better
a
speak
classic.
Yeah.
So as we talking about 3000, I think he's one of the best lyricists. Period. Top five.
He's in my top five, no doubt, man.
Go back to when Eminem named his best rappers, and like listen, and the people he said then, it still works. It still goes. But music has changed. You know what I'm saying? And one of the people he named was Andre from Outkast, Jada, Corrupt, Nas. He said Big and then me. So he named himself, but he was like, and then me.
Eminem cold. Hey.
He cold.
Now I'll tell you someone who has gotten better.
I don't really like his early stuff as much. But his pollution,
he started flowing.
Who are we talking about?
Eminem.
Have y'all heard that Kamikaze?
Yeah,
Kamikaze.
Now this is my only thing. I like Eminem, but I don't like when he does the corny Eminem. I like I am whoever I say I am. That's the Eminem I like. When he going in, when he goes in, very few people can compete with him.
When he's on somebody else's track,
yes. Yes.
Oh.
Now I tell you someone that I like now.
Hold on, Wes.
Okay.
Hold on, Wes. He murdered Biggie when Biggie was already dead. Have y'all ever heard Dead Wrong?
Yeah.
He killed it. He killed it.
So I'm gonna argue that I think when 3 Stacks get on somebody's feature, I think he does more damage than Eminem.
Ooh, that's a good.
I think
that's a good.
He got on Rick Ross.
He got on T.I.
stuff and destroyed it. He got on so many people. You know what? If you're an Apple fan and you got Apple Music, put Andre 3000 features, and they got a whole playlist, and you can listen to out of the 25 songs, 23 of them roll back to back. He destroys anybody he's on. He takes over the song.
Real quick before we get done, I want to point out who would have been great, and I got to give it up to him, and that was Nip. that last album,
Yeah.
Victory Lap, to me
now?
is a
The last
classic
album,
album.
Nipsey.
That is a
Oh.
listen, and it was a classic in my eyes before he got killed. Let me be 100% clear about that. I saw that man on the Breakfast Club. I like what he had to say. It was when the album dropped, and I was like, oh my God. Like, what have I been sleeping on? So, you know.
man,
I like the
rest that
Mailbox
man
Money he
go.
came out with, and also too, Greg, y'all need to download his like on Tidal, Black on. You need to download his essential playlist on Tidal. Classic. He got
All right,
banged.
I did that.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Since we were talking about, top albums,
Mm-hmm.
what would you say, not to get necessarily on a serious note, but, we are going through this Black Lives Matter. What documentary or movie would you say you would recommend watching during this Black Lives Matter?
Can I go
Recommend to who? This is the key
Recommend
question.
anybody, number one, but also recommend to somebody who just doesn't understand what's going on.
Okay, let me start. Let me go first, Scott. Let me go first. Hey, Glory. Y'all need to watch Glory. My great-great-great-granddaddy fought in the 54th Infantry. My great-great William H. Carney. Watch Glory. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. Glory.
I watched
Great
that
movie. Your boy Denzel.
Denzel's
Morgan
a
Freeman.
classic in that movie.
Yep.
Right.
Yes.
Denzel is classic. He forgot to duck. He forgot to duck.
He was going to get some shoes, sir. He was going to get some shoes.
Yes, that's my favorite movie, dog. Scott.
That's a good one.
Real,
That's good. Let me throw it in here.
Fought in that.
What about you, Big G? I see you over there looking a little perplexed. What do you think?
So, what the question is, what was our favorite movie?
Documentary.
Documentary. Okay.
Watch.
So,
my bad.
So there's one. It's a couple I checked on. This young guy named Reggie Yates. He's on Netflix, and this dude goes all over the world, and he just he interviews poor white people in Africa. Y'all gotta watch that episode. It's like a paradox to watch it. Like,
what's the name of it?
Wow.
And what's the name of it?
His name it's called Outside Man. Andre Yates, Outside Man.
Okay.
It's so dope. So check that out. He's a very talented young bruh from England. And he goes around the world. He was in Chicago. Oh man, it was crazy. And then he went to this little town in Africa called I don't know the name of the town, but the name of the show was Knife'em ER. And it was talking about all these young guys over there. They're like 13, 14, up to 18. They just stabbing folks, just going around robbing people. And he interviewed, it's crazy to listen to the different mindsets of people around the world.
White or black?
Huh? No, the brother who's interviewing him, he's black. His name is Andre. Okay. His name is not Reggie Yates. And check it out. It's on Netflix. It's called Reggie Yates, Outside Man. He scary. Scary. That's a great documentary.
Okay. What about you?
I got one, Scott. So I recently watched one on Netflix about the Black Panthers. It's called Black Panthers, the Vanguard of the Revolution.
Okay.
Very informative. Definitely something everybody should check out because it really shows how the Panthers had feeding people breakfast, feeding kids breakfast, literacy, doing a lot of things in the community that need to be done today and definitely should continue back in the day, and how there was a concerted effort by the federal government. I mean, this is all documented. The federal government to infiltrate and dismantle their efforts. You know, so COINTELPRO came in and really, you know, dismantled them, and they have documents where their purpose was to seed misinformation into that organization to break them apart. And so when you think about the complex of something good that could have helped and been positive, it was dismantled by the government who really at the time was doing a disservice, not just to Black people, but to all people, because, it set off a chain reaction of chaos in a community that really needed that kind of positivity. Now, people can say, well, there were some aspects of the Panthers that they didn't like, maybe, but at the end of the day, I can't think of an organization that was trying to get people registered to vote, get people raise literacy rates in the community, feed children breakfast that needed it, where they assassinated people within that organization. I mean,
Huey Newton, the founder, was a signal.
So it was interesting, and just the title, the Vanguard of the Revolution. They definitely were out front at a time where we really needed people to be in the streets, and they were. So that's something you should check out if you have not done so already.
And let me tell you something about that Black Panthers, and this is something I remember from when my dad, when he was alive, told me. I asked my dad about the Black Panthers before he died, and I asked him about Huey Newton. And, the reports is about Huey Newton, his death was that he got killed kind of on, like he was a drug addict and everything like that. That's what they put out in the media. Well, my dad told me he was assassinated. And when I heard it from, and I can still feel it I still remember that from my dad, how much the Black Panthers had so much impact on their lives and on their generation. And people really feel what they was doing, just to piggyback on you, Ramsey. So
yeah, definitely watch it, because it talks a lot about Huey Newton and some of what happened to kind of break them up.
Yeah. It's just like everybody in that generation, like my dad's generation and younger, that grew up in that time, understood the impact of the Black Panthers. Like what's that dude, Geronimo Pratt? He went overseas, he went and learned how to shoot. I forgot to do that. Cleveland. Yeah, Helson, saying them dudes, they don't get talked about a lot, but they played a big impact in our
right. One thing, and I won't take over too much time, but it was interesting because the Black Panthers were very heavy Second Amendment. I should be able to carry a weapon, and that's their right. And if you think about the politics of today, we've got all these other organizations. I won't go too deep into that, but other organizations saying, look, it's my right to carry a weapon. And you've got the NRA coming in saying, yes, we support, any candidate who's pro-gun. But at that time, NRA was silent. In fact, California passing laws where they could not carry those same weapons.
Who was governor at that time in California?
And nobody said anything about Second Amendment.
Well, that's
who was governor at that time?
It tells you what the mindset was. It's Second Amendment for somebody else that don't look like you.
Exactly, because
Ronald Reagan was governor at that time.
They're behind from
right.
Yeah,
Ronald Reagan was governor at that time of California. Also, remember Philando Castile. That's all I gotta say about the NRA.
What about you, Kendrick?
So there isn't any one particular. What I will say is there are several by a Black man by the name of Henry Louis Gates Jr. Okay, this man has made some of the best documentaries I have ever seen. Let me help you before I tell you about the documentaries. Let me help you remember where you've heard of him. You remember it's probably been maybe 10 years ago now. The Harvard professor who was arrested outside of his home, unjustly so. Y'all remember hearing about that? I mean, like literally, that was Henry Louis Gates Jr.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the one. That's the one where he had to have the they had the beer on the front lawn with the police with Obama, right?
Yeah.
I want to say so.
Yeah.
I want to say so. But so check it. This is who it is. This is why I'm also sometimes I believe in conspiracy theories, but I won't go into them now. But, two of the movies, it's a series, The African Americans, Many Rivers to Cross. All right, where it details from Africa to America. They even find one family that can actually trace their heritage all the way back to the first African in their ancestry, in their family, to set foot on this North America, or in this America. It was in South Carolina. All right. I want to say, it was that movie also where I learned the term about 40 acres and a mule. Actually, that was not a national thing. I think that was started maybe in South Carolina as well. That was a local thing. It wasn't, and then ended up being adopted and went bigger. But that's just a great series to watch. But the other thing, the dope thing that I watched, and I watched it a couple years ago, is that he did is called Black in Latin America. Okay. This was dope for me because, as most of y'all know, I used to live right on the border of America. I mean, America, but Texas and Mexico. And I remember being down there one day, and I met a black Mexican. Have y'all ever seen a black Mexican? No, when I say black, I mean skin tone.
Julius Lockett.
Mexican male. No.
Julius Lockett is a black Mexican.
No, he's not. I'm saying, man, the same features. You know what I'm saying, with the straight hair, but he's as dark as Ramsey. Okay, this Black in Latin America details all of the ships, all of these. I'm just using Ramsey. It was it's a Mexican guy, but it shows where all of these people actually landed. It wasn't a joke. It shows where all these people landed, and then
I did not take offense. I'm happy to be black.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a joke. But you know what I'm saying? But as a matter of fact, what I said that because to show you where where Africans were dispersed throughout the Caribbean, throughout the North, South, and Central Americas is my point. And how they became a part of that culture. And that's what I really mean. So if you go back, in Mexico, there are pictures of Africans, there are statues and monuments of Africans in Mexico right now today. So I mean, and it even goes down to the music. Like I can't remember the name of the style, but they have this beat, that you go around, and I used to call it the circle dance, because the little club, they used to just go around in a beat. And he shows how that is an African drum that is at the heart, that is at the baseline of this music that is identified as traditional Mexican music and the part of their culture. So I mean, it's a dope series. So anything Henry Louis Gates, and I think he was also a part of the 13th also, which I think most of us
saw on PBS too.
Also, he has most of them come on PBS. Most of them come on PBS.
They do like the ancestry type stuff.
Yeah, he did Eyes on the Prize, one of my favorite documentaries too. 1 and 2. That's an awesome documentary as well.
Was it about food?
Now, was Eyes on the Prize your favorite documentary when you were older, or was it when you were younger? Because where that came from.
Right, you little. You're little, but I remember Eyes on the Prize.
Yeah.
I love that watching my dad, man. I love that, dude.
Yeah. What about you, Wes?
1 and 2.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't watched not one black documentary so time.
That's why you got quiet.
Tuscaloosa.
And I'm gonna tell you why, man. I'm gonna tell you why. I'll be honest. And I was thinking about it, and I was just like, you know what? I've been black my whole life.
Really?
And like my mom and my parents instilled to me my history. And so I know the effed up things that happen to us and our people. You know what I'm saying? And when I watch it, it's kind of like it just solidifies what I've already been told and taught, you know. And so I don't really be searching out to it because, you know, my mom, let me tell you, if y'all don't know Wanda Newell, she dragged me to everything that was black. You know what I'm saying? To me, I ain't going to recommend anything because if I got to learn about yours, you should learn about mine on your own. So,
all right.
Yeah.
All right. No, mine, you mentioned it's the 13th all day. The 13th definitely is an eye-opener of where a lot of our black males went in a 20-year span, fast. You know, from Republicans that went over to Democrats, and how the South, of course, got as powerful as they did. You know, it talks about Ronald Reagan and the cocaine, of course, being over in the rich neighborhoods, crack being in the black neighborhoods, and the people in the rich neighborhoods getting less time than the people in the black neighborhoods for the same amount. So that's one big one. And then another one, even though I didn't graduate from HBCU, but I'm a product. You know, my grandmother graduated from Spelman. All three of my other grandparents graduated from Tuskegee, but the other one is Tell Them We Are Rising. And that's the history of the youths. And that even breaks down to Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois and, you know, how their differences were. And so that's definitely something else. And then if you even want to break it down to the kids, that one with Kevin Hart, Black History, is something that I would recommend all the children.
Kevin Hart came with an educational.
Educational.
Yeah, I've seen it. I'm going to check it out.
It's pretty good. And
I'll check it out.
What's that on?
It's on Netflix.
Okay, cool. Now,
what you said about W.D. Du Bois? Which one he had? What was it called?
Don't worry about it, Pete, because you know what Scott going to do? He's going to post the links of these or post them on our YouTube page.
All right,
there you go. And and I'm glad you said that because, you know, I need to get my Black History moment anyway. So, you know, we are here in Music City. And I have a lot of people who are under the impression that Music City is because of country music.
Exactly. I'm glad you mentioned this one.
Music City is because of the Fifth Jubilee Singers. The Fifth Jubilee Singers were actually out on touring in the world to save the school. And it was Princess Victoria who pretty much labeled Nashville, Tennessee as Music City just from hearing them sing. Matter of fact, I'd like to hear a song or two from the Fifth Jubilee Singers right about now on Zoom. But so that's the big thing. And actually, W.E.B. Du Bois went to Fisk and taught down at a school that, you know, is right in between Lebanon. It's right over off of 70. And I've passed the state marker taking a picture of it, but it was just some school that he taught at right after he graduated from Fisk University. So I would say those would be my main ones.
I like the one that you mentioned about the one about what's it called, the 13th.
The 13th.
Yeah.
About how things change, how, you know, blacks became Democrats, because a lot of times, man, as you hear today, a lot of people, especially I got an argument with a dude in a barbershop about this. About people don't understand, like black people were Republicans back in the day, but there was a shift. There was a shift because of the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act, and a lot of people who oppose to what's going on right now will always bring up how certain icons in Black history were Republicans.
Yep.
But they don't ever bring up the shift of the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act.
And that was all Nixon.
Yeah. So Nixon. I will watch the 13th.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm gonna quote something from that and then we'll close it out. But I took a snapshot of a couple quotes that a Nixon advisor, the name is John Ehrlichman. He said the Nixon campaign in 1968 and the Nixon White House after that had two enemies, the anti-war left and black people. You understand what I'm saying? We knew we couldn't make it illegal to be either against the war or black. but by getting the public to associate the hippies with the marijuana and blacks with the heroin, and then criminalizing both heavily, we could disrupt those communities. We could arrest their leaders, raid their homes, break up their meetings, and vilify them night after night on the evening news. Did we know we were lying about the drugs? Of course we did. This was John Ehrlichman, Nixon advisor.
So I heard that quote. Yep.
So
the piggybacks what you were just saying, the Iran Contra scandal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I don't understand how,
that.
You say you remember that, P?
I remember watching the hearing on TV when I was young.
Okay, but like yeah, but it's like, and right now it's being documented for entertainment purposes. And one of the best shows on TV, Snowfall.
Yep.
I love Snowfall. Is that already?
Yeah. No, it's probably going to be delayed. So, I love that show. I would just recommend for everybody.
John Singleton.
Amen. So everybody out there,
baby.
If you want a show, if you want a show to go see, first of all, it's a quality show. Number two, it's based off of historical events, and it'll let you understand a lot of what you see going on right now, and how we were systematically destroyed, and we just don't have time to go into how deep this really goes.
Right.
We can have,
you know what, man, I liked about this show too? Franklin Snake. Franklin Saint is like one of the best characters of all time, dog. In black and dog, he's just like up there with, what's the dudes from The Wire, Ken?
Avon?
Yeah, I'm talking Franklin Saint, how he was just young and just how he just flipped the game. Man, Snowfall's a great show. Rest in peace, John Singleton.
Yo.
Mm-hmm. Since you just finished this up, Wes, why don't you close us out on some words of wisdom?
All right, man. So I heard some disturbing things this past week. I heard someone said, I'm not going to say his name, but slavery was a necessary evil. And when I heard this really hurt my heart. And he said that basically he said slavery was a necessary evil because he was trying to stop the 1619 Act from being taught in schools, which was about the real true history of slavery.
400 years.
And when you say slavery was a necessary evil, you're talking about our ancestors who were first brought over here and was chained on a boat and had to defecate, eat in the same place while chained together. Then when they got here, was raped and torn from their families so you can live a good life. And when you hear this is our people who he's saying that was treated in a bad way. That was a necessary evil. And when I hear this, I'm like, a necessary evil for what? So you can live a good life. So America can beat up to this thing. And I love this country. I'm not finna move anywhere. But you can't really say that because you're demeaning a whole, you demeaning us and what we contribute to the society, and saying that the reason why you're going to Harvard, the reason why you hold this office, and the reason why America is one of the top economic countries was just like, hey, that's not cool. And to me, people that think like that, we need to get them out of power making decisions. So one thing that I saw with the whole Black Lives Matter movement was a lot of people went out there. I mean, I never seen a bunch of young people who went out in every streets across the world. But one thing I want all these young people to do, and people like me, is to vote.
Vote.
Because I don't care what you do. You can march all day long, but if you don't vote and get the right people in office and hold people accountable, Republican and Democrat, you're not going to get nothing passed. If you're not willing to do the core basics, then you march for nothing. So vote. Whatever you do, vote.
I hear what you're saying, but I feel like they're using tactics even to this day to prevent us from doing those things. I feel like it's a well thought out plan that's playing out.
Yeah, I agree. There's things out there to stop us from voting.
Right.
But the whole thing
voter,
has always been things.
Suppression is real. I mean,
But voter suppression
it is.
But let's be real. It's always been voter suppression.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been some voter suppression towards us.
Yep.
Let's think about it. Why was the Klan founded? The
Intimidate.
Klan was founded because after the Civil War, they saw a bunch of black folks that got elected to offices, and they didn't like Reconstructions because black people got some power, a little bit of power, and so they came out the Klan to intimidate us. It's always been that element, but we cannot show fear. We have, even though the odds are stacked against us, man, we can't sit there and falter. You know, one of the things that made me so mad, I ain't gonna lie, man, to you, and this is really a touchy subject to me about voting. And I don't respect a lot of people who bump their gums who don't vote. I don't. I remember my first time voting in the presidential election was 1996, and I was at Tennessee State. And I was so happy to vote. You know what I'm saying? And I was in the student center when they used to have the TVs in there. And this one dude came in there, and he just like, man, I ain't voting the line too long.
That's what they do too. That's
and I'm sitting here just like, dude, are you serious? And everybody else is just like, dude, you know, you gotta think about it. Our generation, our fathers and mother generation grew up in Jim Crow segregation. So to sit there and tell you that you too tired to vote to me, it's a spit in my face. And I know a lot of people say like, well, my vote don't. No, yes, your vote does matter.
Yep,
Might not matter matter in a federal election or a senator election, but it matters in a local election. It matters in a city election where you protesting about police brutality, but you need to vote in your local election.
Let's be clear. Your vote always matters.
Your vote always matters. So don't sit here and tell me, oh, my vote don't matter. And then it's like, man, I get in arguments in the barbershop all the time. One of my famous arguments was a young dude gonna try to tell me about voting and talking about how they vote don't matter and how Martin Luther King was a Republican back in the day. Yeah. I had to tell that dude, I had to go off on him. Because the whole thing is, bruh, you don't understand, dog, that we had to fight to vote. First of all, we had the right to vote once we had them after the Civil War. And all the stuff that we was doing before then is just to keep that right to vote.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like, I know this is not going to be the popular opinion, but I just feel like things have not changed.
Yeah, I get what you're coming from, BG.
We're all in better positions. We're all in better socioeconomic levels, but the reality of it is things ain't changed for us.
So what can we do to make them change then?
Go on.
What can we make change other than vote?
So, what was that? This for me?
Yes. Like, what can we do to change what you feel that we can change our position other than vote?
Stop patronizing them. Hit them in their pocket.
I was just gonna say, do what we telling people to do, which is take your dollar and spend it in the businesses and industries that support you and equality for people like you, right? And that's what this show is about. So that's one way. And I think you can do that in addition to vote. Now, I think we can go and have a whole show on if things have changed, if things ain't changed. I don't think we're gonna solve it in the 2 or 3 minutes we got left in this show. Discussion. I think we can bring that back in, but I will tell you the purpose of this show is to do just that: change things in addition to the vote. Use your dollar, your economic dollar, with products in industries and businesses that support equality and your people. That's it, right? So that's what we're trying to do, and that's what we're going to continue to do, because at the end of the day, if you follow that dollar, you're going to follow some power with that dollar. And really, if you want to get really deep, if you follow that dollar, you're going to follow that vote. So
Church.
We're not going to get into lobbyists and corporations and all that, but let me tell you, that's for another show.
Yeah. We all got corporate jobs, and we all ain't rich, and we all got to play safe.
Well, I will tell you, and Ramsey just alluded to it, you know, we said businesses and products, but even financial institutions. You know, how many of you all have a bank account as citizens or a predominantly black bank?
I don't.
Exactly.
Me either.
That's one thing that I did in March, is that I opened up an account of Citizens Bank and Trust, which is the oldest minority bank, founded in 1907, located here in Nashville, Tennessee. So we always complain that we can't get loans. Well, we're putting all of our money in banks that's not giving us the loans. So thank you, everyone, for joining us on another episode of the Urban Retrospect. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And if there's one thing I'm going to ask you to do, is please support Champs Boxers. Because we want them to feel good on you as they feel on us. You know what I'm saying? So you all take care. Good evening, and wear your mask.
Yes.
Yeah.